me so you're ready to learn this new skill. Good. Christian looks good. Good job, Taylor. I love how Darren has nothing in his hands. Nothing in his hands. Good job, William. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take what we did the other day. Okay. We're going to take what we did the other day, Trayana and Taylor, and we're going to make it into a rough draft. So here's what we're going to do. You guys are going to help me though. So here's my steps. So we need to pick one of those transition words. What would we pick first to start our writing off? Everyone look, we're starting it off, so we're going to pick one of these green words. With a quiet raised hand. Christian. Right here? So to begin with. Good. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to say to begin with. What are we going to write next? What's our first step? Everyone should be following along. Malachi, what's our first step? How many pieces of bread? Two. Again, 2 pieces of bread. Okay, now what? What do we do next? What's our next step, Dakota? Get 2 scoops of peanut butter. Okay, good. So let me just write what you said. Get 2 scoops of peanut butter. All right, so I'm going to push this a little bit. We need to say here, to become better writers, there's something we can add at the beginning here. Look at this chart and see what word we could add. So we already added a green word, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to highlight this one in green. So we have our green word. What else could we add at the beginning of that next step? Look at the chart. Let me read them for you. So we've got next, then, after, later, second, third. What can we add to make it even better writing to let our readers know that what's coming next? Yeah. Go ahead, Robert.
A piece of next. Yes. We write what's next or
Yeah. So pick one of those words for me. You want to use next?
yeah.
Okay, next. So I'm going to put the word next here. Okay, so do you see how we turned Dakota's sentence, which was a good sentence, and we added one more word, and we made it a really, really good sentence, okay? So now we have next, get 2 scoops of peanut butter. All right, what's our next step? James.
I don't know.
Antonia.
Let's get 2 scoops of jelly.
Okay, what was that first word you said? Next. And what kind of word is that, Antonia?
A yellow word. A yellow word.
A yellow word. So those are the words we use in the
Middle.
Good. So say it again, Antonia. So I can type it.
Let's get a scoop of jelly.
How many scoops?
2.
Get 2 scoops of jelly. All right. So any voices I hear when I'm typing, you're not following along. Again, the expectation is that you're looking at the board, you're reading what we're writing and following along. Any voices that call out lose points. We're working for that pride party tomorrow. Okay, so next, get 2 scoops of jelly. What else can we do now? Okay, instead of using the same word twice, what can we replace this word with? Look at the yellow word there. What's another yellow word? Trayana. Then, good. All right, give me one more step. Okay, what's the next step? Dakota. All eyes are on Dakota. Finally what? What's our last step? Are we at the last step?
No.
Okay, so what's our next step? Who can help her out? William.
I can spread peanut butter on the bread.
Good. So spread
Peanut butter.
Spread the peanut butter and jelly on the bread. Okay. What's the last step? Malachi. Hold on, Malachi's speaking. Malachi's speaking. I love that you're all excited about this, but let's be respectful. Malachi. Okay, so put the two pieces of bread together. Okay, so we need to stop here. We need to add a transition word because we need to tell our reader it's almost finished. Like my awesome writing is almost done. So how are we going to let our reader know? Look here. William, point to which one should we read? So we're not at the middle now, we're at the end. So what color?
Red.
Good. So let me read these again and you help me pick out a word. Eyes here, Robert. Finally, at last, in the beginning, in conclusion. What word do you want to put there?
Finally.
Perfect. Finally.
Finally, I want to see it. No, finally I eat my salad.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning and read it through. When you hear a transition word, put your hand on your head. When you hear a transition word, put your hand on your head.
What's a transition word?
What's a transition word? Who can remind Antonia with the quiet raised hand? Christian. Did you hear that, Antonia? Beginning, middle, or end. So the words that we have over here, transition words help our readers know when we're moving from one thing to the other. All right, so here we go. Stand up. If you're standing, you need to stand straight. Not going to ask you again. Okay, I'm going to read it. Here we go. To begin with, you're not reading. I'm reading. When you get the transition words, you put your hand on your head. So put your hands down. Try it again. To begin with, get 2 pieces of bread.
Get 2 pieces. That's not funny.
No, because that just means you are listening to the directions. Okay, here we go again. To begin with, get 2 pieces of bread.
Get 2 pieces of bread.
Next, get 2 scoops of peanut butter.
Get 2 scoops of peanut butter.
Your hands are on your head when you hear those transition words, and then they go down after I say them. Then, get 2 scoops of jelly.
Get 2 scoops of jelly.
Spread the peanut butter and jelly on the bread.
Spread the peanut butter and jelly on the bread.
Finally. Why do I not see your hands on your head?
I do.
Finally. Put the 2 pieces of bread together.
Put the 2 pieces of bread together.
Okay, so we just learned what kind of words? Everybody, what words did we learn? Perfect. And there's how many kinds of transition words? Everybody. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We're getting ready to go into a writer's workshop. When I dismiss you, here's what you're going to do. Let me make sure I have all your attention because I'm only going to repeat these directions one time. William has a question, so let's look at William. Go ahead, William. When are we going to make the sandwiches?
We'll do it tomorrow.
Good question, William. So after we write our final draft, it's going to be the end of our writing unit, and we're going to have a party and make the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Next week. Next week, William. Okay? That means we have to work super hard. Okay, so I need your attention back in 5, 4, 3. An active listening position should look like Tiana and